things that you and mom have, or mom has put in place. But at times that can be a little difficult for you. What does it feel like when they are talking back or
Felt
not?
disrespected.
Okay. So at that time when you're disrespected, what tends to happen? Is that when the yelling comes or?
Sometimes.
Okay. Mark, you have anything you want to say about it? What is it like when your sister is, saying, "Hey, time out, you can't do that," or what's it like for you? Give me a minute, let me ask him, and then I'll come back to you. Do you slam doors?
It's Alyssa.
Alyssa slams the door. What do you do?
Either push or kick.
Push or kick? Push or kick who? So you don't take it out on Danielle.
Last time I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to push on the bed. No, you didn't. You pushed me hard. That wasn't funny.
Why do you think you tend to do that?
Because they're mean to me.
Because they're mean to you? So is she mean to you, or is she just making sure you do what's right? Both? What about you, Alyssa?
Oh, like the problems I have?
Because you guys seem really close right now. So it seems like you don't have a lot of problems when she's in the sister role. But what is it like when she's um
In the babysitter role.
yeah, the babysitter role?
She gets grouchy sometimes, or sometimes she's like happy and then like we're in a happy moment. But she has mood swings sometimes, so she gets out of control. And we're like, so then that's when we start doing bad things, and then yeah, and then that's when he goes on the wall, and then I go to my room. Cause you sticking out with me.
So it sounds like that it's not just that you don't want to follow directions, but sometimes big sister, aka the babysitter, um, can sometimes not be having a good day.
Yeah. What is AK me?
Also known as. So what are your thoughts about that, Danielle?
Alyssa. What's just for
She said that it's not that she doesn't really want to follow directions, but sometimes you may be not in a not such a good mood.
a good situation. Make me feel uncomfortable. Oh, I just said it. You got nose in my hair. I don't know.
Do you think it's true?
Mike, stop. Stop, Mark. That's funny. Sometimes, yeah.
So that's honest. On a scale of 1 to 10, or how many times would you say out of 10 normally it's not them wanting to follow directions, but you're just not having a good day?
9. No, for real. Marcos. He's talking to
You would say
someone.
you would say 5. Okay. All right. So it's kind of half and half. Sounds like it's half and half. Okay. Mom, what are your thoughts about that?
Um, I think she's being really honest
Hmm.
with what she's saying. She's trying to learn and grasp the concept of how um, it's best for them to follow orders or direction. Um, and then if they don't, when I get home, um, they'll receive a longer timeout from me.
Okay.
And it could be 8 o'clock, it could be 9 o'clock, and you're gonna sit and give me a long time out against that wall if they don't follow direction, or the slamming of the doors, the talking back, the scratching of each other, or the pushing. I came up with that this weekend and put it into law today.
Hmm. So it sounds like overall you want them to get along, but do the right thing. And
Mm-hmm.
if they don't, then they're going to be held responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, Alyssa, what's your thoughts about that? Do you understand what mom is saying? What are your thoughts about that?
I don't know.
Do you think it's possible that when mom is gone, you could do your best to?
Yes.
What is it gonna take for that to happen?
Um, like, I don't get what you're saying.
Like, okay, let me give you a real good example. So, like, mom is here right now, and it's kind of easy to say, oh yeah, I can follow directions, but is it gonna what has to happen for you really to follow directions when mom is not around and not give your sister such a hard
Oh,
time?
like, stop yelling or talking back or scratching marbles on his face.
My neck. And me.
What do you think the scratching is about?
No, because he hits me sometimes, so, like, I hit back. But I just throw my nails at him.
Okay. So more like sounds like self defense.
Got one right here, right here.
Marcos, you're just taking everybody out, right? Or is that more of the big brother coming out of you? The little big brother? So, Danielle, Christine, what do you do when mom is not here?
I make a mess.
You make a mess. Oh, okay. What kind of mess?
I just throw everything on the ground.
Okay.
What do you do when you're here? Because usually you're the best one that when you doing your homework, what do you do? Because you're saying things that you do that you're really not doing. So why don't we say what you've been doing while Danielle watches you? What do you do?
I color and I do my homework. And then
Mm-hmm.
when I have a hard question, Danielle helps me.
Oh, that's nice. That's good. That's what big sisters are for. So, from your perspective, sounds like Danielle is doing a great job.
Do you like Danielle taking care of you? Huh?
See?
Do you think she needs a raise?
Yeah.
No, because my toe hurts.
Your toe hurts? Oh, okay.
What's
All
that?
right. So Danielle,
That one.
looks like you have a lot. Sounds like you have a lot of responsibility. I actually applaud you. I mean, you're in school. You're helping mom out around the house. You're being, there for your younger siblings, watching them. Sounds like you have a lot on your plate, but it sounds like you're balancing it pretty good. Okay. Yes, sir.
What are the personal things?
The personal things.
So
Well, I don't want to get into anything personal with you right now, but I'll meet with you shortly after if you want to talk one on one and work. So, what do you guys think in closing? Um, do you think? What do you, mom? First of all, what's your vision for? And I think it's important that your children hear that. What's your vision for your children and for your family?
I've been talking to them a lot about education and why we need education. Um, I've been specifically speaking to Danielle and her boyfriend about education and why we need to um, get a degree and why we need to go to school and why it's very important and how living in the Bay Area it's competition with other people that have degrees and it's even having a bachelor's degree how it could be hard and you're in competition with everyone. I had this talk to them on the way back home from Modesto and why we need to do what we need to do. Also, Danielle will be having a baby in October, so her circumstances have changed. However, I've already spoke to her, and we have a plan of what she's going to do, which is she's going to watch the kids, and she'll graduate this May. However, in this summer, she'll sign up for San Jose City College, take her assessment test, do what she needs to do, and she'll start school in the spring. Since she's due in October, that'll give her 3-4 months with the baby, and she'll begin in the spring. And I'm making it important to know that it's not easy. Having a child is going to be ups and downs, and you have to keep going and being persistent with yourself and your goal, and determined and dedicated, because in the long run, who knows how long I will be here. This also sets an example for them, that even if something comes in the way or circumstances changes, you still need to keep moving, and you need to keep going, because that's my main goal for them, is to get their education. Because I always explain to them, if I'm not here and something happens to me, you guys have each other.
Yeah.
However, you have to balance in your own life, and help each other, and strive to support yourself, and education is the only way.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Being in the Bay Area, being in our country, anywhere.
Listen.
I mean, education is very vital and important, and I think it's admirable that you're sowing those seeds into your children's life. What do you think? Do you think this talk was kind of helpful for the family, just to talk about some, even though it was surface? Do you think this was good for the family?
The talk, or
Yeah, just
this
meeting together, just talking
today?
briefly. Yeah.
I think it's good, because there's not a lot of times we're so busy in the day, and we may bring up little subjects or little things, but a deep conversation, or a conversation where we're sitting like this, usually one is off doing something, one may be outside like Mark last time, or one's watching TV, and it's just those um, little talks that you have, just like on the way um, coming back from Modesto, and talking with her and his boyfriend. And I also let him know he graduates this year also,
Right.
that he will be coming over next weekend. I'll be helping him with his resume, and he's going to be looking for a job. And if he plans to go to school too, he says he does, then I'm willing to help get him, just both of them, just started and running, just explaining everything, how it's going to go about, how the first semester is going to look like, um, and hopefully, they will do what they need to do, either if they're going as a part-time student or a full-time, depending on their load, because they are both have educational needs.
Yeah.
So it depends on the pace that they can go. And she's seen how it was for